Why are all our ponds leaking? Felipe and his team are back and they're trying to figure out that exact question. And yes, they have to destroy all the tanks. It's a complete bummer. It sucks. But at the end of the day, the tanks are leaking and we need to figure it out because this is an aquarium and the water's supposed to stay inside of the tank. We do have some ideas of why this is happening. Let's get into it. You guys remember when Stingray tank was leaking? Got some marks here. They got some ideas of where it's coming from. Here's the actual water stain. And that wasn't the only spot that was coming out of the Stingray tank. So I guess there was something unusual with this tank. Those are the overflows, which is very important for keeping a saltwater aquarium clean, I guess. But they're very high. They didn't expect it. So some of this rubber sealant and stuff, oh yeah, it's like mushy and it's falling apart. It's literally, it's no good. They didn't waterproof it high enough, and there was also some problems with the sealing on the windows. And you can see on this video right here that the sealant that holds the acrylic to the cement is literally goopy like peanut butter. And they have to redo every single window inside the entire saltwater predator tank. That is a lot of work and honestly a big bummer for the construction crew. And as you see with the Bermuda Triangle, they actually have to tear the entire thing apart, destroy all the theming on the inside, take the corals out, and of course there's a saw going off. There's a lot of stuff happening here today. So if you remember with the Orbeez video, there was actually like paint in that aquafin which keeps the water from like leaking all over the place. That means that there was a problem. Now, was it potential that when the painters were here, it created a tiny hole between that layer so everything was just messing up and leaking? Honestly, they don't know, and that's why they have to tear the entire thing to the bone and restart from scratch. On a good news note, freshwater predator tank is actually not leaking. It's one of the ones that's not leaking. That's great news. One of my favorites. It might be my favorite. It's absolutely beautiful, honestly. So not everything is a disaster, you know what I mean? That's a good thing. But fixing some leaky tanks isn't the only thing that we're doing today. As you see, it looks like Jeff actually figured out some sort of thing that kind of flows a little bit better. I like it a lot. He's actually starting to cement these boulders back in place. He's got some little pebbles. It looks a lot better, in my opinion, than the slate. Let's take a step back and look at it. I think it's gonna come together much more naturally than that slate looked, which is cool. Give it some time, some water will be in there, the turtles will be planted out with real life, not the fake stuff. Might actually turn out pretty good. I'm excited to see how it looks at the end of the day. And look at this paint. It looks so good. Black walls right there. This beautiful green right there that's actually the same color as my son's room, oddly enough. We showed you guys the other day that they were cutting some holes in the ground to run certain electrical and so on, not only for the iPads that will be interactive, but seems like this is the zigzag tanks. I'm sure this will help with some filtration or something. I don't run the show here, I don't know. But they're actually gonna be filling in these holes now. See, they're filling in the holes right there. This is for a reason, and it has to do with the shark tank, oddly enough. You guys having fun?
Cement boys today.
Cement boys, squirrel boys today? You got some squirrel tacos today?
No squirrel tacos. The squirrel guys are gonna start grinding the floor over there.
Are they here right now?
The guy stopped in a minute ago.
As you can see, they're moving around tanks to get the floor clear for this particular reason right here. And that's for this shark tank right here. Why do floors affect a shark tank? Well, it actually makes sense. This massive shark tank is made of 3 ginormous pieces of acrylic that must seam together to create a waterproof tank. Alex, the guy that did the FRP for the bottom of this shark tank, will be back in a week and a half to actually start that process. But the floors have to be spotless. No dust, no little shards of anything. We're gonna have guys out here grinding the floors, cleaning it up, getting it all clean so that none of that dust and particles can get in between the acrylic seams. Because if that happens, it will be leaking so bad, we won't even have sharks in this tank. For example, George's Aquarium, they had this massive shark tank where the acrylic is 3 feet wide, and it took it 90 days to actually seam and become waterproof. If there was cement, debris, little particles in between that sealant, so many little pinholes, water would be everywhere. And we can't have that happen in here. We also have to come to the Aquarium House, and there's a little bit of maintenance to do. Starting with Chelsea, what are you doing over there?
Hi, feeding. They're all getting their pellets. They swim around with them. They're bigger ones, so it's really cute.
Growing so much.
Yeah, they've got a ton of babies in the rocks too.
What? Let's take a look. Can you see them in the
Yeah,
rock?
they're
What?
in and out of the rocks, so you can see them sometimes they dirt around.
Look at that black one with the purple stripes on it. Awesome. Cool, so you're doing a little bit of maintenance, a little bit of feeding, a little bit of cleaning.
Feeding, glass cleaning, water change, gravel vacuuming the bottom.
Cool. Let's go check on Lee in the basement because I heard that there's a big job that I'm gonna help with. Lee, you're already in the water? Dang it, another cold water. It's okay, I'm trained for this.
It's best to get used to it so I'm not like the whole time.
Shivering's good. And while I change, I think Bashy's over at the LegaSea. Let's go check in with him and see what he has to say about all these leaks.
You want me to come in there and film you change?
No.
Do it, dude.
Doing nothing. Looking better by the minute, man. Still leaks. That's the problem. Never happened to them ever, which is crazy. But they use a different brand of silicone that's supposed to be the same. Clearly, it did not cure the same, and here we are, redoing the whole thing, man.
So you saw how on this tank over here,
Yeah.
it was like mushy, like
It was
peanut butter.
Yeah, it was bad.
Why did it only happen in that tank?
Well, it happened to all the spots in that tank.
But like, why is the Predator not doing the same thing, I guess?
Tough one. I don't know why.
Right? You know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not sure if it was thicker here or it was a different batch. It could be the littlest things, or did they use a different silicone? Bad batches are possible.
Okay, Lee. Diving in. Okay, it's not terrible. All right, it's not the best though. Oh, okay, what are we doing, Lee? What are we doing?
We have some algae buildup, so we're
Yeah.
gonna be scrubbing the sides,
All right.
scrubbing the bottom, getting all that picked up. That way, whenever we do our water change, we can just get that all out of the tank.
Sounds good. We got how many fish in here? 50 or so?
Yeah.
About 50 koi fish. And it's time for feeding. Come over here. Can I spread them out all over the place?
Absolutely.
Okay. Whoa! Look at them go. Whoa! They're going. Listen to it. These are just popping like crazy. It sounds like a bubbler is actually going off in here, but it's just koi fish mouth. This is crazy. Most of these koi fish are actually going to the LegaSea Aquarium only in the koi pond, or we put them in like the river outside as well.
So we can definitely add a few more koi to the outside ponds. Whenever it warms up, it'll be easier to acclimate them. And we'll keep some here also just for the renters so that they can come and experience that here as well. But yeah, the rest will go in the indoor koi pond.
Oh, one just scooped under and hit my foot.
Oh, he's
My
big!
toes.
Look at the size of him!
They are. They're huge. Now that this pond is absolutely flooded with bugs, let's get cleaning.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think they know that we open in 6 days. How we looking, fellas? Start filling it.
Not sure.
Get the hose, start filling.
Start leaking here and here worse.
Do the whole thing as if it was all leaking.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to. Something
pretty
this
much.
size. You can just get through. Could be anywhere then.
If that doesn't work, I'm gonna explode.
What do you think about never using concrete again?
That's a good idea.
Welcome to the world of entrepreneurship.
Now, you lived in Texas when people started like stocking ponds with carp because that's what people were eating. It actually like destroyed some of the ecosystem, well, a lot of the ecosystem.
Carp can live in a variety of conditions, so it's definitely one of those animals that can be invasive. We're gonna have lionfish at the LegaSea. Those guys are very invasive because they can tolerate a range of, temperatures, salinity, but they also have no natural predators, so that's why lionfish decimating some, definitely areas like off of Florida. They're just decimating the ecosystem.
So am I just giving it a gentle brush here, or do I give it kind of harder scrub?
Medium. If you notice like any stuff flaking off, then definitely be, a little
Lighter.
bit more gentle, but.
So what are we actually even cleaning here? It seems a little gooey.
But really, it's just algae and detritus that's growing on the inside of the walls.
Detritus? What the heck is a detritus?
Football team that would be around here.
They're probably win more than the Lions.
The Lions.
It can be pieces of food, it can be fish poop. It's just what we call the stuff that you see in the water.
We gotta get used to this. We're opening up an aquarium. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty more detritus around here that we're gonna have to be scraping up. The floor is kind of slippery. I see you scrubbing it down there.
Yeah, I think it'll make it easier for you to walk.
Is this what you're talking about? Needs
Yep.
to be resealed?
There's no leaks, so this could just be like the superficial top layer, but at the same time, just something I'm watching pretty closely.
I haven't really been a part of the water world that much, Lee. Is it common to like leak a lot with water? I imagine it would be. Is that kind of just our life that we're gonna be dealing with?
There's a lot of times that the general consensus that it's not if something's gonna leak, it's when. But I wouldn't say it's not as common to have like almost all of the concrete tanks leaking. That's very, very odd. What I've seen is leaks develop after like a couple years.
It's just stuff that we gotta be careful of. It's gonna happen more in the future. Just have to fix it when it comes. Can't expect it to all be perfect.
Satisfying, nasty stuff, just scrubbing right out. I wasn't really sure what I was looking for, but I got it over here now.
All right, it's all clean now and all good. Oh God, if you stay here, do not jump in the water. We can't really stop you, but it's not smart. Sorry, it's super wet. So we got all the algae clean, fish are fed, the water is changed, but we do have some more stuff to talk about at the LegaSea. Let's go back.
You better not run, bro. I might not be faster than you, but I know this place really well. It's nice to see you, but
Not on the best of terms.
yeah.
Sir, exactly.
So what do we have going on here?
So I don't know. At some point, something happened, but it's not the time for
Blame.
Exactly. It's time to solve the problem. We have a problem, we come here to solve the problem. In this one in particular, this one we have 3 tanks with problems. This one is different. The other 2 have like the same pattern. So we have a plan for that one too.
Okay, good.
But this one, you see, we remove the 2 rocks. We remove all that thing, like create like a flat surface again, and we're going to apply our waterproofing product, the Aquafin.
Yeah.
So the plan is apply 3 coats that create another enclosure in top of the last one, the first one. That's the plan.
What about with these ones?
We find some issues in the silicone. Water reach higher level than we expect or supposed to. Start softening and damage the silicone. That's the reason you see we open all the windows.
So do you have to take the windows out?
No. Right now, we're waiting for the materials. I just redo it in top of what we have right now. The guy is cleaning very well, but you can see some spots.
Oh yeah, it's
So
like
probably,
rough.
I mean, supposed to dry in 2-3 months, but it's not the case in some time.
Okay.
Weather, it's a lot of factors.
We're glad to have you guys out here helping us figure this problem out because
Absolutely.
We gotta figure it out.
Hey, that's all that matters, that we fix it. We don't want any more of this on the ground. That's hurtful, Felipe. It's not the time to point fingers at anything. It doesn't honestly matter. Somebody's fault. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, there's leaks, and they just need to be fixed. And that's what he's committed to doing. Love that. I love that they actually seem to have an understanding of what went wrong and a solution to solve each one of these problems. It's beautiful. He doesn't seem too stressed about it. He seems pretty confident that what he's doing is going to fix all of these tanks, which is absolutely lovely. Was it stressful? Time a little bit? Sure. You just gotta stay hard, just keep grinding. And honestly, like, before we know it, these are gonna be fixed, and we won't even remember how water got out of these enclosures. Speaking of out of here.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.